Hey Fever fans, it's Caitlin Clark. I can't wait to get to Indianapolis. I know you guys are excited. I am too.
ESPN just shook Caitlin Clark's fan base with a bold move, and no one saw it coming. The network has announced it will broadcast what is believed to be the first nationally televised WNBA preseason game in history. The network has officially picked up the Indiana Fever's May 4th exhibition matchup against Brazil's national team in Iowa, a decision that marks a significant shift in how women's basketball is valued by major networks. The game starts at 5 p.m. CT at Carver-Hawkeye Arena and will be Caitlin Clark's first time back on her college court as a pro. Even though her jersey was retired in February, this is her first chance to play in front of Iowa fans again, and all tickets sold out in just 45 minutes.
Can they defend and stop other teams from scoring?
Well, last year Indiana was 10th in pace. Christy Sides telling us Clark rattles her.
This historic broadcasting decision underscores the transformative impact Clark has had on women's basketball viewership in just one season. Last year, as Clark captured Rookie of the Year honors and earned all WNBA first-team recognition, 6 different WNBA television partners set all-time viewership records for their highest-rated WNBA games, all featuring the Indiana Fever with Clark on the court. The decision to nationally televise a preseason game directly addresses what had become a major pain point for WNBA fans. In recent seasons, the lack of accessible preseason broadcasts left many supporters frustrated and searching for alternatives. This frustration was exemplified last season when an exhibition between the Chicago Sky and Minnesota Lynx wasn't available on broadcast television, but managed to accumulate more than 2 million views through a fan's phone, stream on a social media platform X. Minnesota Lynx coach and president of basketball operations Cheryl Reeve acknowledged this shifting landscape after that game, stating, "The growth is happening so fast, it's so accelerated, and I've been saying this in our own organization, that business as usual isn't going to work anymore." The influence of Clark on the league's broadcasting decisions extends well beyond this single preseason game. The Indiana Fever will be featured on 41 nationally televised or streamed games in the upcoming WNBA season, the most of any franchise in the league. Of their 44 total games, 10 will air on ABC ESPN, while another 8 will be broadcast on ION, ensuring maximum visibility for the team and its star player. This remarkable media presence stands in stark contrast to Clark's feelings about her own draft experience just 1 year ago. In a recent appearance on the Fresh Talk podcast with former Iowa teammates Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, and Jada Gyamphy, Clark revealed her frustration with how her draft night unfolded.
Sitting right next to Connor.
Except I was so upset because I was like,
so funny.
After I got drafted, I got just drug out immediately, and I didn't get to see any of the draft, and like I had my phone, I couldn't really go on it. It made me so upset. And then like I didn't even get to see Kate get drafted, and somebody's like, Kate just got picked, and I went on my phone, I'm like, but so yeah, that made me really upset. And then we went and had fun, but
we kept waiting. We're like, will we get to see Caitlin ever?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even take pictures with you guys, my family, like Connor, like no one, like
until after.
This candid admission highlights the tension between the commercial interests surrounding high-profile athletes and their desire to enjoy meaningful personal moments. The contrast between Clark's draft night experience and ESPN's decision to broadcast her preseason homecoming game illustrates how quickly her influence has grown. In just 1 year, she has gone from a highly touted prospect, being rushed through media obligations, to a transformative figure whose very presence in an exhibition game warrants national television coverage. The upcoming season promises even more attention on Clark as she enters her sophomore campaign. After helping end the Fever's 8-year playoff drought last season, expectations are high that Clark can lead Indiana even further in 2025. The Fever selected Florida State forward Michaela Timpson and South Carolina guard Bree Hall with the 19th and 20th picks in Monday's draft, while also taking Gonzaga's Yvonne Ejim 33rd overall, adding more talent around their superstar. Timpson expressed her excitement about playing alongside Clark during media interviews after the draft. "Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty cool," Timpson said. "I mean, she's a great point guard. She set the tone for the league last year. She had an incredible rookie season, so I'm just excited to play with her as well." Clark isn't the only WNBA star returning to her alma mater for preseason action. The Chicago Sky are heading to LSU, Angel Reese's collegiate home, for an exhibition. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Aces and Dallas Wings will play a preseason game at Notre Dame, where guards Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, and Ariko Gunbowale starred collegiately. The New York Liberty are also scheduled to play at the University of Oregon in a homecoming game for Niara Sabali and Sabrina Ionescu. However, none of these other homecoming exhibitions have been picked up for national broadcast, highlighting Clark's unique drawing power. The decision by ESPN represents a massive vote of confidence in Clark's continued ability to attract viewers and grow the game's audience. The regular season tips off on May 16th, with Clark and the Fever beginning their campaign the following day against the Chicago Sky. Fans will then have to wait until June 28th for the first meeting between Clark and fellow Norm Year 1 pick Paige Bueckers, who was selected first overall by the Dallas Wings in the 2025 WNBA draft, when Dallas hosts Indiana in what promises to be another highly anticipated and likely nationally televised matchup. ESPN's unprecedented move to broadcast a WNBA preseason game signals a new era for women's basketball coverage, one where exhibition games featuring the right star power are deemed worthy of prime national television slots. For a league that has long fought for media visibility, this development represents a significant milestone, and it's one that can be directly attributed to the remarkable and ongoing impact of Caitlin Clark. The Indianapolis Fever executive team emphasized the significance of this homecoming game when it was first announced. Kelly Krauskopf, the Fever's president of basketball operations, said, "Countless Hawkeye fans have become Fever fans, and we consider them family. That's what will make this preseason matchup so special for us." Now, thanks to ESPN's decision, that special moment will be shared with viewers across the nation, something that would have seemed unthinkable for a WNBA preseason game just a year ago. Could this be the turning point for how women's basketball is covered in the media? And what does this mean for the future of WNBA visibility? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.
Most unguardable player in the country. She has come alive here again in the third.
Patiently reading the defense. Bueckers gets it back, will pop, ends hit from Tacoma.
Caitlin Clark's meteoric WNBA rise just forced Paige Bueckers into a decision that will forever alter women's basketball. With millions watching, the battle for the sport's future has begun. Paige Bueckers, the UConn phenom, is poised to become the number one pick in tonight's WNBA draft, fresh off leading her Huskies to a national championship just 8 days ago. Bueckers averaged 19.9 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game in her senior season, with a massive 53.4% field goal accuracy. She's not just a player, she's a movement, hailed as a once-in-a-generation talent. But across the league, another name looms large: Caitlin Clark. The 2024 number 1 pick for the Indiana Fever, Clark rewrote the record books at Iowa, becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer with 3,951 points. Her rookie season turned heads, boosting Fever attendance by 30% and merchandise sales by nearly 50% all. Yet her WNBA salary, a modest $76,535. A stark reminder of the financial hurdles even the brightest stars face. So, what's the clash? It's not about points or rebounds, it's about money, opportunity, and a bold new league threatening to steal the spotlight.
Knowing that the guard, if she comes in to shoot it, is not going to be able to get it over her reach. They're top 5 in the country in field goal percentage defense. There's another takeaway and a foul called. And that's the length of Paige Bueckers.
Yep. Hours before the WNBA draft, Paige Bueckers signed a 3-year deal with Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 basketball league founded by Olympians Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. In just one 10-week Unrivaled season, Bueckers will earn more than the entire 4-year WNBA rookie contract of $350,000 she'd get as the top pick. Why does this matter? The WNBA's collective bargaining agreement sets a first-year salary for the number. One pick at just $78,831. Unrivaled, by contrast, boasts an average player salary of $222,222, with Bueckers' deal reportedly dwarfing that. As Andrews put it, Bueckers is setting herself up for a larger payday once the WNBA season ends. But this isn't just about cash. Unrivaled offers something the WNBA can't yet match, a domestic off-season league that keeps players in the U.S., sparing them the grueling overseas stints many endure to supplement their income. Since the WNBA's inception in 1997, stars have flocked to Europe or Asia for extra paychecks. Unrivaled, played in Miami over 8 to 10 weeks, is changing the game.
As a pro basketball player, strongly encourage folks to check it out. Some Gino Auriemma shade in there, but all in good fun. But Nafisa's journey just flung it up there in the nick of time, but missed it. Push pass by Williams to Austin. Their chemistry off the floor, amazing.
Now let's discuss Caitlin Clark. When she entered the WNBA in 2024, she didn't just bring her scoring prowess, she brought eyes. Her presence forced the league to confront its pay gap head-on. Clark's influence didn't stop there. Her success amplified calls for better salaries and investment, paving the way for Unrivaled rise. But here's where it stings for Bueckers. Clark's spotlight made Unrivaled a viable option, tempting top talents like Bueckers to diversify their careers. Bueckers, who once dreamed of dominating the WNBA outright, now faces a dilemma. By joining Unrivaled, she's hedging her bets, but she's also splitting her focus. Could this move dilute her WNBA legacy before it even begins? This story isn't just about two players. It's about the future of women's basketball. Unrivaled's debut season in January 2025 was a hit, averaging 313,000 viewers for its opening game, outpacing most WNBA cable broadcasts per Sports Media Watch. Its second game drew 311,000, making it the most-watched women's basketball event on TNT Sports at the time. But the WNBA isn't standing still. The league inked a $2.2 billion media deal in 2024, and viewership is up 20% since 2023. Still, players like Bueckers and Clark highlight a persistent gap. The NBA's top draft pick in 2024 earned $10.5 million in year one, over 130 times the WNBA's equivalent. Voices are rising. WNBA Players Association President Nneka Ogwumike said, "Our stars are global brands, but our contracts don't reflect that yet. What's at stake?" If Unrivaled keeps luring stars, it could siphon talent and attention from the WNBA. But if the WNBA steps up its game, both leagues could coexist, pushing women's basketball to new heights. The question is, can they find balance before the divide grows? Behind the headlines, Bueckers and Clark are more than stats. They're young women navigating fame, pressure, and choices. Bueckers' farewell to UConn went viral, with a teammate tearfully saying, "I didn't need to see this." Clark, meanwhile, faced scrutiny for everything from her endorsements to her off-court style. Their decisions ripple beyond themselves. Young fans watching see role models challenging norms, demanding fair pay, and redefining success. But it's not all rosy. The grind of dual leagues could strain players physically and mentally. So, where does this leave us? Tonight, Paige Bueckers will likely walk across the WNBA draft stage, claimed by the Dallas Wings, ready to build on Caitlin Clark's momentum. But her Unrivaled deal signals a new era, one where players wield more power and leagues compete for their loyalty. He wrote ahead is uncertain, but undeniably thrilling. As the landscape of women's basketball shifts beneath our feet, a new chapter is being written, not just by leagues or franchises, but by the players themselves. The rise of Unrivaled presents a pivotal moment. Will this bold new league propel women's basketball into an unprecedented era of exposure, opportunity, and empowerment? Or will it unintentionally compete with the WNBA's momentum, pulling attention and talent away from a league that's finally gaining long overdue recognition? These questions don't have easy answers. But one thing is crystal clear. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers aren't just participating in this revolution, they're leading it. They're not only breaking records on the court, they're breaking barriers off it. Their influence stretches beyond buzzer beaters and highlight reels. They're challenging the status quo, redefining what it means to be a female athlete in the modern age. With every pass, every shot, every signature moment, they're rewriting the rules of the game. And as fans, we're not just watching basketball anymore. We're witnessing history unfold, one bold move at a time, one fearless step toward a future where women's sports are no longer seen as an afterthought, but as the main event. What's your take? Should players like Bueckers prioritize the WNBA or embrace new ventures like Unrivaled? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned for more updates on this evolving story.
I would say so, as Caitlin Clark and Flau'jae Johnson have a little fun. I think Flau'jae was going on her Instagram Live there.
I believe so.
Yeah. And Caitlin going over to Sophie Cunningham saying, I'm sorry I didn't hit a bomb for you.
WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark made a surprising 10-word statement about UConn star Paige Bueckers, sparking excitement as Bueckers reportedly plans to declare for the 2025 WNBA draft. She's always been able to go up against the best, Clark said about Bueckers, a statement that carries immense weight coming from the player who shattered NCAA scoring records and transformed the landscape of women's basketball. Is to be selected first overall in the upcoming draft, following the same path Clark blazed just 1 year ago. This public praise from Clark directly addresses a concern that has reportedly haunted Bueckers for years: the fear of being overshadowed and forgotten amid the explosive rise of other stars in women's basketball. Despite being one of the most electrifying talents in the college game and the only player across the NBA, WNBA, and college basketball with a 50-40-90 shooting split this season, Bueckers hasn't generated the same media frenzy that surrounded Clark during her final season at Iowa. The timing of Clark's comments is particularly significant as they come while Bueckers is leading UConn on a dominant NCAA tournament run. The 23-year-old guard just delivered a career-high 40-point performance in the Huskies' 82-59 Elite Eight victory over Oklahoma, further cementing her status as one of the game's elite players. Yet even with these extraordinary achievements, the spotlight hasn't shone as brightly on Bueckers as it did on Clark last year. Part of this difference might come from Bueckers' strong support for more media coverage of black women in sports. When she won College Athlete of the Year at the 2021 ESPYs, Bueckers used her platform to talk about how black women athletes don't get enough attention. She said, "With the spotlight I have now as a white woman leading a black-led sport, I want to highlight black women. They don't get the media coverage they deserve. Their value is clear."
Media coverage is important for the game. I think it grows the game. I know freshman year I was like the media darling. Everybody was like focused on me and what I did at UConn my freshman year, but I think it's more important for the game to share the spotlight, to grow the game and show all the stars of college basketball and not just focus on one particular player, whether it be me, Caitlin, Juju, Angel. I mean, there's so many names in college basketball now that are huge, that are stars, that deserve credit, and I think it's not my job, but the media can do a better job of just making sure everybody gets love.
This courageous stance appears to have altered how certain audiences viewed her. As former NBA player Eaton Thomas noted in The Guardian, while Black America cheered Bueckers, mainstream white America, a demographic that once saw her as a media darling, wasn't as loud about her anymore. By publicly championing Bueckers' talent and resilience, Clark is effectively extending a hand across this divide and acknowledging her peers' extraordinary abilities. Clark's admiration for Bueckers runs deeper than just her on-court skills. Her game is just so smooth, she's fun to watch, she moves effortlessly out there like it's just so natural, Clark elaborated. Then she additionally works really hard at it. Paige has always been one of the most dominant players. That has never changed. What makes Clark's praise particularly meaningful is her acknowledgement of Bueckers' journey through adversity. After suffering a torn ACL that wiped out her entire 2022-23 season, many questioned whether Bueckers would ever return to her pre-injury form. Clark directly addressed this challenge. The coolest thing about Paige is how resilient she is. Obviously, she's kind of been dealt a tough hand. The way she carries herself on and off the court, the way she works hard.
Like Hannah said, like Gabby Marshall just comes up with big defensive plays all the time. Like you see it time and time again for us, and she doesn't get enough credit for what she does. She guards one of the best players in the country, and really, challenges her quite a bit. Paige had a great game. I thought Gabby just played great defense on her. Even when Paige made some tough baskets, Gabby just responded and kept going up there and guarding her. So I'm really proud of her, and I'm proud of our group for just being able to flip the page and move on to the next play.
The relationship between these two transcendent talents stretches back to their middle school days, giving Clark a unique perspective on Bueckers' character and work ethic.